I first tried Ektar100 about a year ago, and kind of hated most of the shots I got with it. It's a polarizing film stock, so I thought maybe it's just not for me, but I decided to try again in a different environment and give it one last chance to win me over. So today I'm starting out just near Otford, which is kind of on the south side of the Royal National Park. Currently, the time is 1:10 p.m. and I have about 7 hours till sunset, so should be plenty of time. The plan is just have a nice relaxing walk around the cliff track. Maybe we'll go down to the figure eight pools, I'm not really sure. On this day, my main goal was to try out Ektar100 in an ocean environment and see what it gave me. But before that, I had half a roll of black and white film to use. So today I have probably like 10 shots of Ilford HP5 Plus. So I'm going to finish that off and then I'll swap to Ektar100, which I have no idea what it's going to look like out here. I've tried it in the Blue Mountains and I didn't love it, but I'm thinking maybe here with the ocean, I'll get something I like a bit better. Straight away, I was excited to see these paragliders everywhere. It's so nice having a subject in your landscape shots, and in my opinion, paragliders look really cool. This walk was really beautiful. It's just over an hour south of Sydney. I've been in the northern side of the Royal National Park many times on the cliffs to Wedding Cake Rock and that whole area. But this was my first time in the south, and it definitely won't be the last. As I walked, I kept trying to take photos of the paragliders when I could see them through the trees. And mostly I was just excited to finish this roll so that I could start on the Ektar. But I also ended up getting some black and white shots that I really like. There's something about black and white that just kind of always works. Whether it's underexposed, overexposed, correctly exposed, high contrast, low contrast, it always gives you something interesting.
What are you photographing?
Paragliders.
Oh, don't they look amazing?
So cool, yeah.
Yeah.
As always, when I'm filming these walks as well as taking the photos, the progress is pretty slow, but I got pretty lucky with the weather. It was a Sydney summer's day, but it wasn't too hot, low 20s in Celsius, and the track wasn't too busy as well. Now we're going to swap for some Ektar100. So finally, it was time to get the Ektar100 in. I was excited to try it out. It's such an interesting film, and I knew it had so much more to give than what I'd extracted from it in my previous attempt. The thing about Ektar, I'm not the most experienced with it. I've literally shot one roll. It's very saturated, so all of your colors come through just extremely vibrant. But I think overexposing Ektar, from what I've seen, definitely seems to help. Just make the colors vibrant rather than just muddy, I guess. This lens is not super sharp wide open. Since I hadn't liked the results I'd gotten previously, my plan this time was to overexpose by 3 stops. From what I've seen with Ektar, it really helps just to tame those colors and give you something a little more controlled. It should lower the contrast a bit and give you more of that pastel-y look. The moon hanging over this brightly lit field reminded me of the video game Bloodborne from Software. This shot's a good example of how much more controlled the colors can be when you just give the film a little bit more light. This part of the walk was really beautiful. The New South Wales coast in all its glory. This shot was an example of where, with the harsh sunlight, I really didn't like the colors Ektar gave me.
Time for a little snack break.
It felt great to make it down to the ocean after already a few hours of walking. I knew the figure 8 pools were a popular Instagram spot, but I wasn't prepared for just how many people would be going back and forth on this trail.
Nice to be down here by the water. Easy to get overexcited when making these videos and, you know, forget that I'm here just to be in nature as well, not only to capture.
Ektar100 is in Kodak's professional range, along with others like Portra and Tri-X. And here you can really see why. There's so much detail to work with. A reminder that this is only 35mm, not medium format. It's a tricky film to use, but can really shine in the right conditions. I had planned to keep walking around to the figure 8 pools, but when I got to this open, flat area of rock, I was taken aback by how beautiful it was, with the shadow from the cliff providing so much contrast. So I decided to stay here for a bit.
This is probably my last few rolls of film for 2025. It's just after Christmas. I focused a lot this year on just trying to do creative things. You know, they don't have to be good, they don't have to be perfect. All I've been trying to do is just do the things, and everything kind of comes from there.
It's safe to say I like these images a lot more than the ones I got on my previous attempt. I think what I've learned is that Ektar likes a lot of light, and it plays a lot nicer with blues and yellows than it does with reds and greens. I think out here on the coast it works really well. I've seen people get great results with cities and urban environments. Maybe that's something I'll try in the future. But I think if you're anywhere where green is the dominant color, it's just really hard to control. I went a bit further on the coast to try and get some better action shots of the crashing waves. I have a lot of fun trying to time these shots, all while also trying not to get wet. The tide was coming in at this point, so it was a little sketchy to go any further. So with the sun giving me this beautiful backlight, I just went for one last photo before turning around, and it ended up being one of my favorites from the roll. This one is another great example of what I've begun to love about Ektar. The colors it gives you are so interesting. It has similarities with Portra and with gold, but it really is its own thing. And once you start to understand what it's going to give you, you can work with it and get some really unique and surprising results. And with that, it was time to head back. I had spent much longer than I intended down at the water, and hadn't given myself much time for the return trip. so I had to make very fast progress, and it was mostly uphill. But as the sun kept dipping lower, the scenery really came alive in such a beautiful way. The light on the way back's been so nice, but I've put my cameras away. I haven't really been able to film anything because I'm kind of running out of time to get back to the car. You can never have the best light everywhere you go on these kinds of walks. You kind of have to choose. Today I chose to have the best light down at the water. And I don't regret it, but wow, the light on the way back's been just beautiful. But that's photography. It's making choices, compromises, and just making the decision that will hopefully get you the best photo. I just have a map here. At this point I was out of film, but the angle of this hill and the sun produced one of the most beautiful golden glows I've ever seen at sunset. It made the forest almost feel like a movie set, like the light was so perfect it felt artificial. I took a few digital photos, but looking back on this now I kind of regret not saving some film for it too. Oh well, just have to go back sometime I guess. I always find myself tempted to just use the same film stocks over and over. Kodak Gold is always my go-to. I know what it will give me and just love the results every time. To be honest, if I didn't have an extra roll of Ektar lying around, I might not have even given it a second chance. But this was such a good reminder for me that film can just be temperamental sometimes. With time and experience, you can definitely get better at predicting it, but it's important to keep trying, and maybe you'll find something that expands your photography. And if you have been on the fence about Ektar, I think it's worth giving a try. It's definitely not for everyone, but it can give some really cool results, and the wild colors can give you such a fun retro look.